Hello students. So now in this session we are going to begin with the new chapter, which is the culture of the Vedic period. The culture of the Vedic period, the lesson itself tells that what we are going to learn today. Culture means whatever the Vedic period has followed, its culture, how it has led its life, its religious life, its political life, and everything is being studied now in this session. So now let us begin our studies. About what? Like the Vedas. See what are being introduced in this lesson. The Vedas are introduced in this lesson. The difference between the social, economical, political and religious systems of the pre-Vedic and post-Vedic periods are explained. Mainly now here we are going to study the difference in pre-Vedic period and post-Vedic period. You can already see here pre-Vedic period we are going to study, and we are going to study about post-Vedic period. Before studying about pre-Vedic and post-Vedic, let us know what does this mean. That is, let us know what is pre-Vedic period and what is post-Vedic period. Before pre-Vedic period and post-Vedic period, we should know what is mean by Vedic period, right? So let us start studying with the meaning of this Vedic period. With the arrival of Aryan race, which was originally from Central Asia, a new culture emerged in India. See, from the arrival of this Aryan race, what happened actually? Which was originally, it was from Central Asia. What happened is, new culture, it emerged in India. New culture began in India. This is called the Vedic culture. We are saying that the new culture emerged, came into existence, right? Then what is that new culture? It is the Vedic culture. From where? Of the plains of river Saraswati. It emerged from where? From the plains of river Saraswati, and later in the plains of river Ganga. See, the period in which the Vedic literature was formed is called the Vedic period. Then what is actually the Vedic period? The period, the time duration where this Vedic literature that was being formed, that period is called as what? That period is called as Vedic period. The word Veda means knowledge. Actually Veda means what? Here the word Vedic period we are describing, study, right? Then what does this Veda means? The word Veda itself means that it is knowledge. There are 4 Vedas. See, in total we can find 4 Vedas. Which are those 4 Vedas? It is Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda and Atharvana Veda. These are the 4 Vedas found. Now, among these, Rig Veda is the most ancient one. Which is the oldest one? Which is the most ancient one? Rig Veda, it is the most oldest Veda, or it is the ancient one. These Vedas were in Sanskrit and were in the oral form for thousands of years. See, these Vedas are in which language? They were written in Sanskrit and were oral for thousands of years. The river Saraswati is frequently mentioned in Rig Veda. See, in Rig Veda what we find? River Saraswati, it is frequently, means it is repeatedly used in Rig Veda, or it is repeatedly mentioned. The name Rig Veda, the name of river Saraswati is mentioned repeatedly in Rig Veda. The Ghagar Akra river, which disappeared in the Thar desert of Rajasthan, is believed to be the ancient river Saraswati. See, what actually has happened is, the Ghagar Akra river, it is the river which people believe that it is disappeared in the Thar desert in Rajasthan. That was to believed as the ancient river Saraswati. It was also believed that Helmand river of Afghanistan, there is one more river called Helmand river of Afghanistan, that is also believed to be the ancient Saraswati river. The four Vedas and the related literature were found during the period of Aryans. When did we found these four Vedas and its literature? During the Aryan period. The Vedic literature is the only source to understand the history of Vedic period. See, the only source to understand the history of Vedic period is this Vedic literature. The period of for Rig Veda is called pre-Vedic period. See, now we came to know what is pre-Vedic period and what is post-Vedic period. The period of Rig Veda, that is called as what? It is called as pre-Vedic period. Whatever the period began after Rig Veda, that is Yajur Veda, Sama Veda and Atharva Veda, that period is called as what? It is called as post-Vedic period. The period for Rig Veda is called pre-Vedic period and the period of the other Vedas is called as post-Vedic period. Especially this Rig Veda period, that particular period itself is called as pre-Vedic period, and the remaining the other three Vedas, that is Yajur Veda, Sama Veda and Atharvana Veda, that is called as post-Vedic period. Now let us study about pre-Vedic period. Among that, under that pre-Vedic period, we are going to study about social life, the position of women, economic life, political life and religious life. These are the factors which we are studying under pre-Vedic period. Let us look after one by one. Among that, the first one is social life. Family was the basic unit in pre-Vedic period. See, which was the basic means which was the most important factor? Family, that was the basic unit in this pre-Vedic period. Father was the head of the family. Joint family system was in practice. See, family, it was the most essential basic unit, and then who was the head of the family? Father was the head of the family, and joint family system was followed during that period. The prisoners of war called dasas and dasyus were treated like slaves. Means those prisoners of the war, means those one who were left after the war, who were called as dasas and dasis, they were used as slaves, they were used as servants during this pre-Vedic period. The Aryans knew the liquor, Soma and Sura. See, since that pre-Vedic period, this liquor, the beverages, there were been available, that is Soma and Sura. What is the difference between this Soma and Sura? They are both the liquor. Soma in the sense the liquor content will be more. Sura in the sense it will be, the liquor content will be balanced. These are the two different liquors which was being used by the people of this pre-Vedic period. Now let us know what was the position of women in this pre-Vedic period. The women held a respectable position in society. See, during this pre-Vedic period, women, they had a very respected position. They have the good position in the society. They even participated in political institutions. See, the women were not only given the good position, they were even allowed to participate in what? In these political institutions. Widow remarriage was in practice. Widow remarriage means, what do we mean by widow remarriage? Once after the marriage, if the husband is died, the woman was allowed to marry again. This widow remarriage was practiced during this pre-Vedic period. Women also studied Vedas. See, women, they also studied Vedas. Ghosha, Apala, Lopamudra, Indrani, Vishwavara, etc. were the scholars of the Vedic period. See, they were not only allowed to study the Vedas, they were also the scholars of the Vedic period. Who all were they? They were Ghosha, Apala, Lopamudra, Indrani and Vishwavara. These were the scholars of this Vedic period. Child marriages and sati system were not practiced during the period. Child marriage means early marriage before the age of 14. That marriage, that is child marriage, was not practiced during this pre-Vedic period, and also sati system was not followed in this pre-Vedic period. What do we mean by this sati system? Means after the dead body of, means the entire, to enter into the fire along with the dead body of the husband. That is, if the husband is died, whenever he will be burnt, in the same fire even the wife was supposed to be burnt. That sati system was not followed during this pre-Vedic period. Next, we shall study about the economic life of this pre-Vedic period. What do we call as pre-Vedic period? That is the period of Rig Veda, which is called as pre-Vedic period. We are going to study its economic life. What is that economic life? Rearing animals and agriculture was the basic occupation of Aryans. See, what was the basic occupation of Aryans? Rearing animals and also agriculture. That was the main occupation of Aryans. They grew a variety of cereals. See, they used variety of cereals. They used barley, rice, fish and meat as their food. These were the things they used as their food. That is barley, rice, fish and meat. They knew the use of iron and other metals. The human beings or the people of this pre-Vedic period, they were having the knowledge of how to use iron and other metals. Weavers of cotton and wool, carpenters and blacksmith as well as potters existed. See, apart from agriculture, what are the occupations we have found? Those who weave cotton and also the wool, they were found during this pre-Vedic period. Those people like carpenters and blacksmiths were also available, and as well as the potters, means the one who makes the pot, that occupation was also available during this pre-Vedic period. Agriculture, medicine and priesthood were the major occupations. Which were the major occupations? One was the agriculture, the other medicine, and the third one was priesthood. Means we would find most of the priests during that time. They were the major occupations during this pre-Vedic period. People were allowed to choose a profession of their choice. Like in the later stage, now there is a practice called like what the father is going to do, the same the entire family generation after generation is going to repeat, right? But here in this pre-Vedic period, what was allowed? Profession of the choice was allowed to be taken. Cows were considered as wealth and very often battles took place to gain them. See what had happened? Cows, they are considered as the wealth, and usually what used to happen? Battles, wars used to occur to take place to gain these cows. Means wars used to happen to get these cows. The next is about the political life of this pre-Vedic period. The chief of the Aryans people was called Rajan. See, what was the chief called? The chief was called as Rajan. He was not a dictator and his kingship was not hereditary. Dictator in the sense what? He was not the only one who has to instruct everything and all. And the kingship was not hereditary. Means if one of the family has become the king, that doesn't mean that the same generation need to continue with the same kingship. It was not like that. It was not hereditary. The political institutions like Sabha, Samiti and Vidhatas play a major role in the administration. See, what those political institutions like Sabha, Samiti and Vidhatas, they played an important role in administration. The king was also a judge and gave verdicts after discussing with the elders of his court. The king, he himself was the judge and he used to give the judgment after discussing with whom? With the elders of his court. Fighting in the battles protecting the lives of people, safeguarding the wealth and welfare of people, as well as ensuring the safety of cows were the duties of the king. So what were the duties of the king now? Means the foremost duty is to fight in the battle, and the next was protecting the life of people, means whoever in their kingdom, they need to protect the life of people. That was one of the work of the king. And then protecting the wealth and to work in the welfare of people, as well as ensuring the safety of cows, because cows, the people, they considered cows as a wealth. One of the most important work of the king was to protect the cows. These were some duties of the king. Next we shall know about the religious life of this pre-Vedic period. Aryans worshipped gods like Indra, Surya, Soma, Varuna, Mitra, Yama, Ashwini, etc. See, these were the gods worshipped by the Aryans. They worshipped gods through the ritual of yajnas. Means how did they worship God? Through the ritual of yajna, means performing the rites, ritual rites of placing one square colored, square shaped yajna, and where we find people, we can see putting ghee and all, right? The way that was the way they used to havan, right? That is the way they used to worship. There is only one truth. People perceive it differently. Let the noble thoughts come from all the corners of the world. See, what actually they believed was there was one universal truth. They did not mean that there is more than one truth. People say first there is only, there existed that truth will be always one, and they were open-minded. They said that let knowledge come from all the side, let thoughts come from all the corners of the world. These were the messages of the Vedas. These were the messages given by the Vedas. This was all about pre-Vedic period, that is the social life, the highest position given to the women, and the economic life, that is they believed in agriculture, right? And then we studied about the political life and also about the religious life of this pre-Vedic period. Now let us know about post-Vedic period. What is this post-Vedic period? As centuries passed, the population grew in the area of Sapta Sindhu. As the time went on growing, as the centuries passed, obviously what happened? The population started increasing where? In the areas of Sapta Sindhu. There were changes in the lifestyle of the people as the population increased, and as the time went on, what happened? There was a change in the lifestyle of the people. The people of the Vedic period migrated to the plains of Ganga, Yamuna, and some of them even crossed the mountain ranges of Vidhyas and migrated towards the south. See what happened actually? As the lifestyle changed, as time went on, as population grew, lifestyle started going on changing. Soon after that, what happened? People started migrating. People started moving to the plains of Ganga, Yamuna, and even some of them crossed the mountain ranges of Vidhyas, and where they merged towards the south. Let us know what is the political changes, how they differ from that pre-Vedic period. What are the political changes of post-Vedic period? During the post-Vedic period, the king became more powerful. See, earlier what had happened in pre-Vedic period, king was not given that much of powers. But now in post-Vedic period, king became the most powerful. The position of a Vidhata was completely diminished. As we see in pre-Vedic period, there was Vidhata. He was also one of the important part. But now what happened? Vidhata, it was completely diminished. Even Sabha and Samiti lost their importance. What happened? Sabha and Samiti in this post-Vedic period, it lost its importance. The scope of the king was widened and the kingship became hereditary. See, the king means the scope, the most of the importance was given to the king, as earlier kingship was not hereditary, but now up to this age of post-Vedic period, kingship became hereditary, means there was a royal family from which their generations after generations they are already going to become the king. That hereditary system followed off during this post-Vedic period. The king performed rituals like Ashwamedha Yaga and Rajasuya Yaga to expand his kingdom. See what happened? The king, they performed some rituals like Ashwamedha Yaga, means Ashwamedha Yaga in the sense what? Sacrificing the horse. That is called as Ashwamedha Yaga. And Rajasuya Yaga means all the importance or consideration was all given to the kings only to expand their kingdom. This was all about the political changes of this post-Vedic period. Now let us know what are the social changes. Gotra system started during this post-Vedic period. Gotra system means like they particularly belong to a religion, to a particular sector and all. That Gotra system started during this post-Vedic period. A 4 ashrama system. What are those 4 ashrama systems? Brahmacharya, Gruhastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas started during the period. See, 4 ashrama system that was started in this post-Vedic period. What are those 4 ashrama systems? Brahmacharya, Gruhastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas. Next, women, the position of the woman was lowered. During this pre-Vedic period, women had the highest position, right? But now after the centuries, as the post-Vedic period started, the position of women was lowered. Women were deprived of education and even kept away from the political institutions. See, their position was not only lowered, the women were not even allowed to get educated. Apart from that, women were not allowed to participate in these political institutions. The Varna system came into existence which was inclusive of 4 Varnas. See, as women their position was lowered, they were not allowed to get educated and even they were not allowed to participate in this in these political institutions. Apart from that, the Varna system also came into existence. Which are those 4 Varnas? Let us know. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. These are the 4 different types of system, that is Brahma, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Next, child marriage and sati system started during this period. During this post-Vedic period, what did it start back again? The child marriage and sati, the system that was being practiced during this period, as I have explained before. Sati means once the husband is died, when he will be when he will be burnt in the fire, even the wife was supposed to jump in the same fire. That was called a sati system, as I explained before. That also the people started practicing that also during this post-Vedic period. Polygamy started among aristocratic people, including the king. What do we mean by polygamy? Polygamy is a man marrying more than one wife at the same time, right? Means man marrying more than one woman, like that system is called as polygamy. That also started for among these aristocratic people, including the king, means those people belonging to the family of king, they all started following this polygamy, and also the king. Now let us know about the religious life of this post-Vedic period. Religious ceremonies became complex and complicated. See, as in that of pre-Vedic period, exactly the opposite thing started happening in this post-Vedic period. What happened? Religious ceremonies, they started becoming more and more complex. The yagas and yagnas were done frequently. As I said just a time before, Havana, that is called, that people started repeating it more and more. Offering milk, ghee and cereals to the fire during these yagnas led to the shortage of food. As the yagnas were done repeatedly, offering more and more milk, ghee and cereals to the fire, as a result what happened? People started suffering from the shortage of food. Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva were considered as major gods. Which were the major gods of this post-Vedic period? Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, they were considered as the most important gods. Along with them, goddess Lakshmi, Saraswati, Parvati and also Ganesha, Skanda and other family deities got importance. Not only Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva were worshipped, along with these gods, goddesses like Lakshmi, Saraswati, Parvati, they were worshipped, and also Ganesha, Skanda and other family deities, they also got the importance. This is about the religious life of post-Vedic period. Now let us study what are these epics. Valmiki Ramayana and Vyasa Mahabharata are the two popular epics among the Indians. Each and every child, each and every person of Indian society know about Ramayana and Mahabharata. That is Valmiki Ramayana and Vyasa Mahabharata. They are the most two important popular epics. Two most popular epics which is being known among the Indians. These two epics have guided the life and art of Indian life. What has happened? These two epics, they have contributed much more in the life of Indian people. Why? Because these epics, they have guided the life and art of living for the Indians. This is how we studied about post-Vedic period. So students, what we learned in today's session? We studied about the culture of Vedic period. That is, we first studied what is Vedic period. Vedic period in the sense, whenever the Vedic literature started forming, that particular period is called as Vedic period. Then we learned what is the meaning of Veda. That is, Veda, it just means knowledge. Soon after that, we studied 4 types of Vedas, which are Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda and Atharvana Veda. Then we studied what is pre-Vedic period and post-Vedic period. That is Rig Vedic period. The particular Rig Vedic period, that itself is called as pre-Vedic period. Soon after accepting that, the other 3 Vedas, that is Yajur Veda, Sama Veda and Atharva Veda, they are called as post-Vedic period. Among this pre-Vedic period, we studied about social life, the position of women during this pre-Vedic period, economic life, political life and religious life. After that, we studied about post-Vedic period. So I hope you all have followed it. Stay safe. Thank you.